Hello everybody and welcome to this live stream with Bucksmore Education. I'm Susan, co-founder of Go Create Academy, and joined today by the MD and Director of Bucksmore Education, John Halligan, and the Marketing Manager, Hattie Riley. Hello guys.
Hi, how are you doing, Susan?
Yeah, fantastic, and delighted to have you both here on this live stream. So during the next probably 30-40 minutes, we're going to go through some of the offerings that Bucksmore have coming up this summer and hopefully answer any questions that you may all have. So John, would you mind starting and just telling us a little bit about Bucksmore? Who are Bucksmore Education?
Sure, Susan, thanks. So Bucksmore Education was formed in 1979 and has a legacy of being an innovative and academically rigorous academic short course provider. Our courses range from English language development, career insights and experience courses, sustainable leadership development programs, micro-certification courses that blend industry and education standards, all the way through to university preparation programs with tailored masterclasses. We're always developing solutions that best serve the needs of the next generation.
So what courses are you currently developing, John?
That's a great question, Susan. So at the moment, we are laser focused on helping students differentiate themselves in an increasingly competitive academic environment. The demand for university places is far outstripping the provision. And in an already crowded school curriculum, there's little to no opportunity to gain additional certifications that enhance your application. So we've developed a range of academically rigorous and industry-aligned micro-certifications with market-leading industry brands to allow students to gain valuable industry experience using current technology and then really to apply their learning towards academic certification. And we're really delighted to be focusing our efforts at the moment on the media industry. So looking at everything from performance and production through to the aspects around music and audio production, right into the front line where we are now, which is all about performance. So we're delighted with that. And Hattie, are you going to tell us about some of the courses we're doing?
Yes, so I will start off with our first course we're going to talk about today. And it's one that I wish I would have been able to take when I was younger, being in marketing myself now. So Message Received is a fantastic course partnering with HubSpot, which you may have heard of before. It's a CRM platform that helps to grow and develop businesses. So we're really excited to partner with HubSpot. And this course really helps to build and develop the key skills and techniques needed by young people who might aspire to become a social media influencer, an entrepreneur, work in the digital marketing industry. It's a really, really fantastic course that will help you to build what you need to succeed in an ever-growing industry, which is digital marketing and influencing. So, Susan, I think you're going to tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you said, many young people now do aspire to become an influencer. However, there are many skills that are needed to become successful. Some are practical, some analytical, and this course will take you step by step along that journey to maximize your chances. It takes you through skills like how to be a presenter, how to vlog, live stream like we're doing now, and podcast. But to do all of these things, you really need to become a storyteller, turning an everyday event into a compelling adventure that encourages people to engage with you as you develop your influencer style. So you'll learn how to properly set up and run social media channels, what each channel is best at delivering, and how to take advantage of each platform's output. So you'll learn foundations in digital marketing, inbound marketing, website basics, and how to set up a merchandise shop. And really importantly, how to analyze all of these stats so you know whether what you're doing is growing or weakening your channels. But what makes this course really unique is every student gets the opportunity to learn and practice in HubSpot. You mentioned, Hattie, about HubSpot. So GoCreate are an academic partner with HubSpot, and each student will get a year's free use of HubSpot to learn and develop their influencer skills. So they're also going to gain access to the incredible HubSpot Academy, where they can keep learning well after the physical course has finished. Now, perhaps one of the best elements of this course is the opportunity to gain a qualification in podcasting. So we'll evaluate your progress and recommend a level that we think you can achieve, as there are several graded levels based on a series of progressive mastery. So this means that you can develop your skills at whatever level you wish, with the higher grades 6, 7 and 8 carrying UCAS points to help you gain entry to a UK university. So these qualifications are assessed and accredited by the London College of Music and GoCreate examinations. So you have the quality brand endorsement that will support you whatever your career choice is. So this is an incredible, unique course using state-of-the-art software hosted in an amazing setting in Oxford, and you're going to learn skills that will last you a lifetime and benefit you whether it is professionally or at the hobby level. I really hope that you can join us this summer, and we really look forward to seeing you if you can.
Sounds amazing. Fantastic. And what other courses are we doing, Hattie?
Well, the next course up is the Art of Noise. And this, again, I get excited about all of these courses. They really are great. I wish I could do all of them. So this one partners with Roland, which is a leading musical instrument maker and a maker of music production software. Now, this course is for our aspiring music producers, our audio technicians, and, you know, if you think of your favourite song, maybe, and you've ever thought, what went on to make that song? You know, who did it? Who did what? What happened? Then this course is really, really fantastic to delve into the key techniques needed to succeed in the modern music and audio production industry.
Fantastic.
Very exciting.
So I think we may have a video to play here with Peter talking about this course. So maybe, guys, we could run that video.
Let's have a look.
Now.
Hi, my name is Peter Stone, and I'm the co-founder of GoCreate Academy, who created this course with Bucksmore Education, the Art of Noise. Now, I spent most of my life as a touring musician and as a music producer, and then I ran the creative side of Europe's largest radio group, Capital Radio. I was fortunate to play keys and program for the likes of Kenny Rogers, Madonna, Leo Sayer, Simply Red, and I played to millions of people around the world and on television. However, throughout that period, I was also working freelance for one of the best electronic music instrument makers, Roland. I launched products for them at international music fairs. I programmed sounds for them and provided input into many Roland products that produce global hits for artists all over the world. So, why would you take this course? Well, this program was created with Roland, and it's unique because we want you to bring your own laptop so we can give you a year's membership of the amazing Roland Cloud software absolutely free. It has the most amazing array of classic Roland synths and effects processors. Add to that some world-class tutors, the most amazing facilities, great industry workshops, plus certification. Well, it's an amazing opportunity for anybody wanting to gain a foundation in music production. The program is 2 weeks long, and you will learn a host of skills like synth programming, songwriting, production tips, recording and mixing techniques, and of course the opportunity to collaborate with like-minded people to make awesome music. Based in the historic university city of Oxford with easy access to London, you will also enjoy relevant music-led field trips and activities. But perhaps one of the best elements about this course is the opportunity to gain a qualification in music production. We evaluate your progress and recommend a level that we think you can achieve, as there are several graded levels based on a series of progressive mastery. This means you can develop your skills to whatever level you wish, with grades 6, 7 and 8 carrying UCAS points to help you gain entry to university. The qualifications are assessed and accredited by the London College of Music Examinations and Go Create Examinations. So have the quality brand endorsement that will support you, whatever your career choice. So, if you want to learn or gain a qualification in music production using cutting-edge tech in an informative, fun, safe and structured way, then I really hope you can join us this summer for Bucksmore Education's The Art of Noise.
Thank you so much for that. And Peter has actually popped into the studio here to chat a bit more about this course.
Thank you for inviting me, guys. Thank
Hello,
you.
hello.
Lovely to see you this morning. It's looking great on the stream. So hope everyone's enjoying the show so far.
Fantastic. So is there anything else? What do you think, Hattie? Anything else that your viewers would like to know about Peter's course?
I think tell us a bit more about the partnership with Roland as well, and the cloud software, is it, that they're able to use?
Software, yeah. So, well, I've actually been working for Roland on and off for most of my professional adult life, actually, Hattie, and it's one of these companies, if anyone looks at the moment, Roland had their 50th anniversary last year, and there's just the most wonderful documentary about it. It was believe it or not, the company that's a global entity now started off in a little garage by a wonderful gentleman called Ikueno Kakahashi, who was the first president, and he built it literally from nothing, building keyboards in his garage, to this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful entity. And Roland, possibly in my opinion, the major company that has influenced literally the sound of pop throughout the ages. If you start looking at all the biggest hits, I can almost guarantee that somewhere in amongst that will be Roland keyboards or drum machines or synthesizers, and their heritage is incredible and still amazing. Amazingly going on today. When I was programming for them, it was quite funny because, I'd go out on tour and I'd have racks and racks of equipment. It would take forever to set up. But of course, these days, you can have an iPad like Susan's got there, or a laptop, and everything has been condensed into software. So you have all these wonderful Roland instruments from throughout the ages now existing in software-only format, and that sits in something called the Roland Cloud. And the Roland Cloud is just amazing, and anyone who's coming in on this course will be very lucky because they'll get a year's membership of free Roland Cloud, and it's the platinum membership with absolutely everything. There's samples, there's synthesizers, there's drum machines, there's something called Xenology, which is where you can combine all of these different instruments together to make your own unique sounds, and you can even download these sounds into Roland compatible keyboards and drum machines and DJ machines. I mean, it's just sensational. So for anyone who's aspiring to be a music producer, I think you'd be crazy not to be kind of at least be aware of this software and to work with it. And the course itself, draws from this wonderful heritage of Roland equipment, and we go through so many exciting techniques because, of course, an aspiring music producer needs to understand the history and heritage of music. They need to understand the programming techniques. They need to know how to record. They need to know how to mic up singers or drum machines. They need to know how to mix, and all these wonderful production techniques that you'll hear in today's pop songs are all covered. It's very exciting. We're really, really buzzed about it.
I'm excited too. I'm looking forward to going and visiting in the summer and maybe taking part a little bit. Now, I do have another question actually, from our viewers' perspective.
Yes.
If a student comes on this course, is there a specific type of laptop that they need to bring with them? Is there anything that they need to?
There are basic prerequisites. I mean, like anything that happens today in this day and age, the software really needs to be kind of run on a laptop that's not really older than 5 years, to be absolutely frank, because it can run, but if you want to use lots of instruments at the same time and really get the benefit of the Roland Cloud software, then ideally something that's in the last 5 years or so. Good excuse to buy a new laptop,
Well,
I reckon,
exactly.
you see.
I know, talk to mum and dad. All
Yeah,
our students out there.
totally.
To pursue your music career, you need a brand new laptop.
I'll talk to my co-founder, see if she lets me buy a new one as well. Please, Susan.
So, Hattie, is there somewhere on the website or somewhere people can go where they'll be able to find out all of this information as well?
Yes, so you can visit our website, bucksmore.com, and you simply need to look on the homepage for the academic enhancement programs. Click through there and you'll find the course, The Art of Noise, there. You'll find a nice summary, some photos, and you can also download our course outline, which gives a lot more detail about the day-to-day and the content of the course. And of course, you can contact us at info@bucksmore.com if you'd like any more information.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Okay, so I think, are we going to move on now to the next course?
I'll try and find a suitable segue, because I'm going to dash next door back into the control room where I'm probably best left to my own devices. But we are, I think we're going to have Richard Link join us via Zoom very shortly. But in the meantime, I think if Eric might be able to play a little
Hey everyone,
video
my name is
about-
Richard Link, and I'm the director of the brand new music theater intensive Curtain Up that's happening this July in Oxford. I teach music theater for a living. I teach at the London College of Music and down at Chichester University. I've written shows that have been performed in Canada and performed in the US and in the UK, here in London and in Europe. It's a 2-week intensive, like I said, and the classes consist of movement, music, singing, and acting. The mornings will all be about the movement. There'll be dance classes and movement classes and choreography, and then we'll move on to acting, where we'll do some improv classes, some scene study classes, some character development, and the afternoon will be spent on one-to-one voice lessons, followed by acting through song classes, and we will end the day with ensemble singing. And the second week, we will start to put these skills together to create an hour-long showing where all the students will have a chance to showcase everything they've been working on. And twice a week, we will take you on excursions. We'll head into London, go on tours of theaters, and check out shows in the West End, the Globe Theatre, the National Theatre. We have instructors coming from all over the place, some of the best international instructors from the West End, and it's all going to happen in an incredibly beautiful theatre space. Perhaps one of the best elements about this course is the opportunity to gain a qualification in music theatre. We evaluate your progress and recommend a level that we think you can achieve, as there are several graded levels based on a series of progressive mastery. This means you can develop your skills to whatever level you wish, with grades 6, 7, and 8 carrying UCAS points to help you gain entry to university. The qualifications are assessed and accredited by the London College of Music, so have the quality brand endorsement that will support you whatever your career choice. I'm so looking to it. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much for that, Richard. And I believe that we're going to be joined by you live in a minute via Zoom. But whilst Richard is joining us, Hattie, maybe you could let everybody know again just where they can go to find out more about all these courses.
Sure. So bucksmore.com, so www.bucksmore.com is our website. And these courses fall into a section of our educational continuum called academic enhancement courses. So when you're on the website, just look for academic enhancement courses. You'll find them on the homepage. You can find them on the side menus, and just click through to there and you'll see all of the courses that we're talking about today displayed on there, and all the information that you need is there. But like I say, you can always contact us directly. We've got a team of really friendly admissions coordinators who are on hand to help with any questions. So do get in touch.
Thank you, Hattie. And I'm hoping everybody is feeling just the enthusiasm and the warmth and everything from everybody who's involved in either delivering or putting together these courses, and just what an opportunity it is to get the practical experience, but also exposure to people who have so much industry experience. And I think, Richard, I can see you there joining us live. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
I think we're just going to...
Hello.
The age-old unmuting on Zoom.
Fantastic, Richard. How are you this lovely day, Richard?
I'm excellent. I've been writing music all morning, so I feel great.
Fantastic. Well, Richard, for those who don't know you as well, Richard is, he has quite the regime in the morning with meditation and exercise and mindset. And Richard, is that a really important part, do you think, of performing throughout your career and having that?
Yes, I think when I was a young lad, I was very nervous and not very good at controlling my nerves or being able to perform, and I started taking yoga classes, and it literally changed my life. And from there I went into meditation and started working with some meditation teachers and continuing my yoga practice, and I found I was so much more grounded and able to perform and be present, not only as a performer but as a teacher and as a person. So yes, I completely believe in meditation or whatever you feel you need to do to be present in the moment. There are lots of ways to meditate, not just sitting and breathing, but walking or making music or doing podcasts. There's all sorts of ways to help yourself feel grounded and present and be open to the experiences happening to you.
Thank you, Richard. So, Hattie, what would your viewers, do you think, like to know a bit more now that we have Richard here for a few minutes? Any burning question for him?
Well, I think something that is interesting to me, or something I'd like to know more about, is this West End performance that students take part in at the end of the 2-week duration. Could you tell us a bit more about how that works?
Well, it's not so much a West End performance as a showing, as a big celebration of everything we've done. And I can't really say what it will be yet, because it will sort of depend on what we do and what the students bring to the classes. But it will be a chance for the students to really shine and show off what they've learned. And as we've talked about, where students are going to be able, if they want, to be graded through the course and come away with a certificate. So it will be a chance for them to really put together everything they've done and really feel like it's a culmination of the 2 weeks. I don't know if that's very vague, but I can't really say any more about it, other than it will be, celebration, a culmination of all the work that we've done.
I'm super excited about this course, Richard, because I think it's the perfect launch pad for students who are really enthusiastic about performance and musical theatre. And that can really sort of galvanize that group together to bring that into that showing and then launch them into further qualifications. And hey, we never know, in a few years, somebody that turned up on that course might break into the industry.
I totally believe that. I've had lots of students break into the industry. We just have a young woman performing at the National Theatre right now from LCM. And what I really like about this course is that it'll be very intensive, it'll be very joyous and very fulfilling and very rewarding, but also that students will get a qualification and that they can use this further on to get into university or whatever they want to do. Most summer courses that I know of are just sort of a fun 2 weeks, whereas this will be fun, but it will also have sort of a bit of an academic backing behind it, which I think is really cool.
So fun and focused.
Fun and focused, yes. Somebody write that down.
Trademark.
I'm going to use that for my MA students next week. They're staring at me. This is fun, but it's focused. Remember that.
Fantastic.
I mean, Richard, there must be such a transformation you see when students are going through these programs from beginning to end.
Oh. Yeah. And it's quite extraordinary, because a lot of students come in thinking they know everything about performing, which is kind of cool. But by the end of the few weeks we're together, or the months or the years, they go, oh, wow, this is what it's really about. And now I understand it. Now I'm ready to apply myself. Yeah. So it truly is this combination of focus and fun. There's joy, right? I think singing, dancing, acting, making music, more wonderful thing could you want to do other than push-ups, of course? But, so to be able to do that and to have a place to be focused on it with people who understand that and respect that.
I think
I
for
think
me,
it's great.
I was going to say, I think for me, I love the fact that they will develop their craft, which I think is important. But the side piece of learning for me is as well is that development of self-esteem, of self-confidence, the ability to communicate with others, to stand up in front of people. I mean, that's for me, that's gold dust for young students at the moment.
Oh yeah, Many people who study performing arts go on to be lawyers, doctors, or all sorts of things. So the skills that they learn, however they transfer them, are so valuable.
I think that's such a key point, because there's often where it's seen as just fun and hobbyish, but actually those skills, how they transfer into this whole array of careers, whichever one of these courses we're talking about here, I think that is just so important to remember, that you can use those skills if it's presenting. I mean, look, we're presenting here now, in your job, in your progression, like these are skills that you absolutely now have to develop almost in any career, because you will have to talk about it at some point, and people to know about it if you want to progress, who you are, what you do, and really understanding that you have to take that professionally, really.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think the ability to communicate and to put over your ideas effectively, efficiently, I think this is the grounding for that. So for me, for students, whether they're passionate about the performing arts, or they're looking to develop their self-confidence and build their self-esteem to be able to present in front of people, whether they, as you said, whether they want to be a lawyer or an engineer, this course will bring that for them.
Yeah. And be comfortable in their bodies, right?
Exactly.
Most of us who study a lot are very disconnected from our bodies, right? We just live in our heads the entire time. And performing arts is all about being grounded, and being able to express yourself and not get locked or tense and tight, but feel comfortable on a stage.
So we're talking obviously about all of these elements. One of the really important parts obviously is this academic enhancement. So we're going to be joined, I think now, along with you, Richard, if you stay with us, Richard, Jonathan Drennan, the head of the London College of Music Examinations, is also joining us now to talk a little about the London College of Music Examinations. Hello, Jonathan.
Good morning, Susan. How are you today?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much. Just again, for our audience watching, this is Dr. Jonathan Drennan, the head of London College of Music Examinations.
Morning,
John, I feel like you have a question for Jonathan.
Yes.
Here.
Hi, Jonathan. Nice to meet you again.
Hi, John. Nice to see you. How are you? Well?
I am well. An unusual situation for me to be in front of a camera, but doing my best to cope with it. I think for us, when we've spoken before about this, and I used the word launchpad for these courses that we're bringing together, and we're really pleased to be partnering with London College of Music Examinations. Really, for me, it's if you could begin to articulate the possible pathways that students can take following these courses.
Yeah, I mean, are you meaning pathways as in within school or after school?
I think when I'm talking about pathways, it's opportunities they've got to gain further qualifications, whether externally or internally in their school life.
Yeah.
And then if you want to articulate beyond that, where they could go, what the possibilities are at university.
So, absolutely, John. So LCME, London College of Music Examinations, is part of the University of West London. So its broad suite of exams is closely aligned with the needs of a university, the needs of students. Our students stem right from preschool years right through to postgraduate years. So our FLCM qualifications, those diplomas, are akin to an MA level at university. So in terms of students, we basically cater for pretty much everything. We have a really broad range of qualifications. We are incredibly diverse. Our most popular product is piano, but we even delve into things like DJing, podcasting, and so forth. So we're very, very upbeat and hip. In terms of the students' careers, so let's. What about if I look at my career? So I'm essentially a pianist, a performer, a musicologist, um, and how if I was to zoom myself back to whenever I was at school, how could I use LCME to develop my career? So, when I was at school, I was thinking about developing my piano skills. So we've got our complete suite of piano resources there to develop those. But in terms of musicology, we offer these incredible theory diplomas, which bring in composition, they bring in musicology, they bring in music history, they bring in analysis. So, really, whenever you say, how do I set up students for their pathways, we are ready there at every stage of a student's pathway. In terms, a very frequent thing that very frequent request that I encounter in my job is that students will write to me um, in a juncture period of their careers. So often we're dealing with students. So let's put this in order. So if we're still at school, so let's say we're leading up to 18 years of age, usually a student within that sphere of their learning will more than likely get to a grade 8. And a grade 8 practical and theory is roughly equivalent to a UK A level. So a student having a grade 8 practical and theory can use those two qualifications to combine to help get into a university. So if I wanted to go to do a music course in a UK university, some universities would accept those two qualifications as prerequisites to get into that university. But often, because we work in over 95 countries worldwide, often we get students writing to me and they ask me to back up an application to a university worldwide. So it might be Harvard or it might be UCLA or whatever, any of these universities. And what happens then is we can use the students' qualifications as a prerequisite for getting into those universities. So it might be that those students have already done a diploma with us. The diplomas we offer, we've got a DIP LCM, which is essentially equivalent to first year at university, an ALCM, which is sort of a halfway house between year 1 and year 2 at university, the licentiate, which is equivalent to year 3 at a university, and then, as I said before, the fellowship, which is sort of has parity with a postgraduate qualification. So what I would say to those students in their pathways is that our qualifications bolster the work that they have done at school, they bolster the work that they've done at university, but they can also act as a way of getting into university to study further. So to give just, I'm talking at length now, but just to give you some breathing room. For example, I was in Dubai a couple of weeks ago, and I was discussing with a brand new arts institution there, a fabulous institution, about the prospects of them linking up with us, so that once those students finish their third year in their drama school, we will also assess their third year performances in terms of our qualifications. The net result being that those students will leave not only with their degree, but also with an LCME diploma.
Yeah. So Jonathan, would you mind? We have Richard on here as well, who is running the music theatre course. Maybe you have a brand new music theatre syllabus. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that new exam syllabus.
Yeah. Would you like Richard to chip on that, or would you want me to start with that one? You want me to start with that? Okay. Musical theatre. Now, musical theatre is an exciting product. It's very exciting for us because piano and musical theatre are actually our biggest sellers. So let's think of musical theatre. Often musical theatre has been thought of as being like a sub-genre. And what do I mean by that? Well, often in terms of the examining world, you'll have a student who wants to do singing. Maybe they don't have a good range to their voice, a good tessitura. And it's often been the trend that students who don't do so well in classical singing are then falling into musical theatre as sort of a backup singing qualification. I know we might grimace at that, but in often cases it often is the case that musical theatre within the examining world hasn't been as highly thought of as classical singing. So what have we done to an example of that too is the fact that if you look at some of our competitors in the market, you'll see that when we come to musical theatre, they'll often accept lots of different songs, and it almost feels as if there hasn't been a great deal of thought that's gone into the choices of the songs. The other problem that we have with musical theatre is that often what a student will do is they will go to YouTube and they will try to copy a performance they've seen before from Hollywood or wherever. So they're not really indulging in their own creativity. So how has the London College of Music Examinations addressed this? Well, we have a really free-thinking musical theatre syllabus, which actually asks you not only to sing, but also to speak. So when you come in to do your exam, you will have to recite the text of the song you're about to sing. Some teachers say to us, why? What's the point in doing this? This is a singing exam. And there's a very clear reason why. Because often we find as examiners, we're marking communication. Of course, we're always marking communication. And what do we often find? That students actually haven't thought about what the song's about. So you'll get maybe a student thinking about somebody who's maybe passed away, or maybe somebody's gotten married and they're singing blah, 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 blah. Isn't that right, Richard? I'm not seeing any sense of the person getting married. There's no sense of the communication. So what we're doing as a board is we want to encourage the candidate to think about the words, but not only think about the words, to think about the words in their own self, so that they're not replicating, Judy Garland or something like that, or Johnny Depp on the big Hollywood musical theatre scene. We're not copying those people. They've done it in their own way. Fine, great, we like that, super. But you, Richard Link or Jonathan Drennan, we want to do that musical theatre in the way that we want to do it. And why is that important to an exam board that works in 95 countries? Because if I go to India, they will not have the same cultural background as I have coming from Northern Ireland. They will have a different perception of the world, different culture. So why do I want to stop them indulging in their own creativity, their own interpretation of that musical theatre? Because it might be that they actually interpret the musical theatre in a sort of a Bollywood sense. And do you know what? As an examiner, if they can pull that off, I'm really pleased.
I was just going to say, I think what's exciting for us is partnering with yourselves in Go Create, is that these courses that we're putting on in the summer, we talked about them being fun and we talked about them being focused. And I think the word that we're probably missing as well is that they have a purpose. And that purpose is the ability to go on and beyond. That this can be your foundational experience that can then lead to, and Jonathan and Richard, you've articulated that really well, there is a progression there should you want to continue it. And not just a progression in terms of collecting qualifications, but a progression also in terms of a pathway, a university pathway, or indeed into industry. And as you talked about, people who are in careers
John.
Developing.
And there's a very important point to make there in relation to these progressions, and that is that often, because we live in this world now where we are so bombarded with marketing, we often fall into this trap that we think there's one way of doing something. But actually, if I think of the classical world, there was a very, very famous pianist called Glenn Gould. And Glenn Gould used to play the piano sitting on a little footstool way below and he played like this. And often he actually sang as he played. Now, imagine, whenever I was a little boy growing up, when I used to go to do a music exam, the examiner would look at your fingers to make sure that they were beautifully curved, that they looked as they thought they should look. Isn't that right, Richard? But that's not the way we do things anymore. What we're looking for is the sound. Does it sound right? If it sounds right, I don't care how that person sung it. I don't care how they positioned themselves to play it. As long as I close my eyes, I listen and I hear the product and it's good, that's all I'm interested in. And in terms of what John's just been saying, we want students who go into their pathways with originality, so that people step up and they say, Richard Link, he does it this way. It's great. Jonathan Drennan doesn't do it the same way as Richard Link, but that's fine, because he sold the product well in the way he wants to imagine that product. That's the pathway.
I think one of the things I'd love to pick up on is that word originality. And
Yeah.
one of the innovative approaches that we're using on with these 3 courses, I think one of the most original things is how we're going to assess it and how those students will be assessed. And myself and Richard talked about this at length. So it's not 3 isolated pieces of assessment. What I really like about this is that you have the musical theatre and production and performance piece will be putting on a showing. As they're putting on a showing, they will be supported by the students who have done the audio and music production, ensuring the sound is right, providing the track, doing all the technical pieces around there, maybe even an original composition that supports that. And then, obviously, then you've got the social media influencers who are going to be out doing the marketing shots, ensuring that there's a push out from that. So we're advertising that showing. So the parents that have got their students on that can see an outcome, whether it's from a production perspective, whether it's from a performance perspective, or whether it's through a marketing perspective as well, or a social media articulation of what is going on, which I think is truly aligned to what happens in industry and really brings those 3 courses together in a very innovative, a very original way, and that the students gain that experience. And there's not many people in 2 weeks that can say that they've managed to put on a whole production from bootstraps to delivery. So I think one of the things that the audience are keen on, I think would be keen to know in that respect, is that to understand that piece as well.
John, you've made a real corker of a point there, might I add, which is teamwork.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big traps, and in my job as directing this business as an exam board, one of the things that I'm ramping up is the ability for the examiners to go back into the marketplace, to go back to seeing people again, so that we're not just doing things on the screen. Doing things on the screen is great, but actually one of the big failures of doing things on a screen is that I think it encourages one-dimensional thinking. It encourages an isolation. And I think one of the things that we are in danger of losing by virtue of the COVID isolation is that feeling that we can do everything ourselves. And you've just said to me that these courses are all about embracing everybody's skill sets so they come together to create this whole product, not just a single product, which is sort of setting off one person. It's about the whole team.
Yeah, and I think it's the creating. I know, obviously, co-founder of Go Create, that's something that we're particularly passionate about, is that you are creating something, because that is where the transformation happens in actually doing it. And then it's going from here to here, and then what you have created is now adding towards your qualification.
Exactly.
Having that innovative assessment there for that, because understanding that out in the world of the professional world of working in any of these areas, that is hugely important. What that is almost everything, with so really valuing that. But listen, Richard and Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us on the Zoom. Richard, I can see your enthusiasm coming across the screen there, and I know that all of your students will absolutely love this course. And thank you so much, Jonathan, for joining us as well and telling us more about the London College of Music Examinations Board. We really appreciate you both taking time out of your busy schedules to do that today. Thank you both.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, all the best.
Most
Take care.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So guys, just before we wrap up, I suppose is there anything else, Hattie? I mean, apart from let's pointing everybody to where they can go again in case they missed before, where to find out more. Do you have any final message that you would like to either ask or share, or?
I don't know.
I think it's important, Hattie, we share the details around the introductory offer. I think we can. How do we find out? How does anybody out there find out about the special introductory offer that we've got on for you guys when you sign up for this particular course, or courses, I should say?
Well, I think in due course, a QR code will be showing on the screen, which you can scan, and that will just take you through to a form which we ask you to fill out, and we'll add you to our list of people trying to think of the
Yeah,
wording.
yeah.
People on our list who will get the exclusive introductory offer. So it's going to be available through till about the 28th of February,
Yeah.
I believe. So if you just sign up to that list, we'll add you to it. And if you come to us with your inquiry, if you come to us with a booking, we'll make sure you get a special introductory offer on your course.
Absolutely. So yes, I can see it there. The QR code is on the top left of your screen right now. So as Hattie said, you can get all of the information there. And yeah, I mean, I just hope now that everybody has kind of got a sense of the energy and the enthusiasm and just, it is that, John, to paraphrase you, it was the fun and focus of these courses. Obviously having this academic rigor and academic enhancement there, but also an amazing experience to develop skills that can do you throughout your life, irrelevant of the career.
No, exactly, Susan, and I can only agree with you there. We set these courses up so that they are more than just a time filler. They actually have a clear value add. They have a clear alignment with industry, yet they come with academic rigor as well, so that it's a very much a worthwhile, fun but focused experience for all our students that come and join us.
Okay, thank you so much. So thank you, John, Director
Thanks,
of
Susan.
Bucksmore Education, and Hattie, the wonderful marketing manager who has been taking us through this and sharing all of your comments and questions. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the summer in Oxford.
Bye.
Bye.